Hello everyone, welcome back to Hari's BI. This video is about how to split your Power BI dataset and report. And this is one of the important concepts that we have within Power BI. If you are a Power BI developer, and you should aware this concept, and the same should be applied in your projects. I'm going to talk about why you need to split your Power BI dataset and report, and what are the benefits of splitting this dataset and report, and how to do that. And finally, if you have any Power BI file with both the dataset and report together, I'm going to help you to split your dataset and report. Let's get started. Let's take a scenario. So we have a new Power BI developer or a new Power BI user who is trying to create a new report in Power BI desktop. So for that particular report, the developer is referring these tables, right? So dim product, category, subcategory, fact, and then final tables. So these are the tables which are used to create this simple report, right? So once he has developed, he is trying to publish that report into one of his workspace. So for example, he is publishing into corp sales. So I'll show you that workspace. So this is the workspace. The developer is trying to publish the report into this workspace. Now you can see, so the sales dashboard got published. So he can verify the report here by opening and checking the report directly on the workspace. And then the next step would be like the developer will be setting up a gateway or setting up a schedule refresh. So he'll be going to the settings and he will be doing the gateway and the data source credentials and schedule refresh. That's all, and he will be sharing this report to the business users. Right, so tomorrow the business user comes with a new requirement. For that he wants to create a new report. Right, so the new report, again, it's going to be a same set of tables. Maybe consider you still have one more table added from the same database or maybe from Excel sheet. But here the concept is almost the tables which are used on the previous report is used here, and maybe one or two tables are added just for this report. So that new developer again create a new report by opening the desktop, connecting to this table, and do the Power Query transformations and creating a report. And he's happy with the report, and again he is going to publish this report. So he is going to publish the same report into same workspace. And let's wait for that report to be published here. Okay, now that report is available. So he can verify the report. So now the developer has created two reports. So he satisfied the business requirement. Business users have started consuming these reports either directly here or through an app. Right? It can be any method. So the duty of the Power BI developer role is completed here. Okay, let us try to see from a pro developer or a Power BI administrator lens and see what is happening or what will happen with these datasets and reports. When you see this, there are two datasets, and you can see there are two reports. So which means each dataset is tagged to a report. So that's the reason you have two datasets and two reports. So whenever we try to publish a file from Power BI desktop to Power BI service, so it will publish two different files. One is report file, and this is the file, and another one is the dataset file. So the dataset file will have all the tables, the relationships, the measures that you have created. So all will be stored under dataset file. And whatever you create on the pages, right, multiple pages, visuals, interactions, slicers, all will be available on this report file. Right, so that's how Power BI manage these two different objects. So consider this dataset is handling millions of data. Right, so this dataset is also referring same set of tables plus additional couple of tables. Right, so it is again going to be millions of records. Right, so when the data grows, right, so these datasets will grow, the size of the dataset will be increased, right, and then so whenever we set up a schedule refresh, the query, right, or the backend query will be triggered to the underlying database. For example, if it is Azure SQL, the query will be running against Azure SQL DB based on the schedule time, and then it will pick up the latest data and it will store it here. Same goes for the next dataset. Right, so let's say if you are setting up a schedule time for 7 a.m. here and again same 7 a.m. here, so there will be two set of queries. Let's say you have a table called product here. Here also you have a table called product. So whenever you set up a schedule refresh, the query will be triggered to underlying database. So it will run for the product table, right? This also will be running for the product table. So it will be a redundant queries which will be running against your underlying database, right? So this will impact your number of queries that is triggered from your dataset to the database layer. So there could be chances that the database administrator will notify the respective workspace owner or an administrator saying that there are multiple queries or redundant queries are triggering on this particular time interval, and this may impact the other schedules of the database. So let's say if it is an on-prem SQL server, so we are trying to give more loads to the data gateway, right? So and again, so here also it is going to be unnecessary refresh, and if you have a vision of maintaining a single version of truth for your data and BI platform, so here we are trying to create a data silos, right? So again, these are similar data sets except one or two tables, right? So we are trying to create a data silos, and we are not trying to achieve a single version of truth, right? Or there could be chances that on the same time there could be multiple dataset refreshes happening on your premium capacity. So these are different issues that will come up when we see from a pro developer or a administrator perspective, right? So if you see this in a lineage perspective, you will see so this is a SQL server, on-prem SQL server, and this is the dataset created on top of these SQL server tables, and this is the report we created, right? And again, the next report dataset is created using a same SQL server, same set of tables plus one or two additional tables, dataset and report, right? So this is how like the new developers will be creating a report, and that's the reason I want to highlight that this is not a right approach. Let's see what is the right approach. So let me explain you what is the benefit of splitting your dataset and report, right? So with that, you will end up having two different Power BI files, PBIX files. One is for your dataset and another one is for your report. So when you have two different files, you will have a liberty to update the files separately. So maybe one person can update the dataset file by adding new tables, new measures or new relationships. The another person can parallelly work on the reporting aspects like adding a new pages, creating a visuals, interaction and etc. Right? It will help you to have multiple people work on a same project parallelly, one for a dataset and one for a report. And then so as discussed earlier, so now with this one dataset, right, so you can set up one particular refresh for this dataset, right? So there will not be a redundant dataset. So you are trying to achieve a single version of truth here. It will reduce the query which is sent to the database layer for the refresh will be reduced. The data gateway load will be reduced. So this again help you to have the less resources utilized on your premium capacity. Okay, let me tell you how you can split your dataset and report. Okay, this is applicable when you start creating a new report or a new project. You just follow these steps. So with that you can split your dataset and report. So here I have a workspace called the corp sales prod. Here I don't have any dataset and report. Actually I have taken a previous file itself. I've just renamed this as a ds_sales. So I'm just referring this is a dataset file, dataset_sales. I'm going to publish this. Okay, this time I'm going to publish into the new workspace called the corp sales prod. So once I published, you can see those objects will be available here. Right, you can see it has two components as discussed earlier. One is the report element and another one is the dataset. Right, so now I'm going to delete this report. I don't want to use this report. So now I have just a dataset. Now I have opened a new file. So here you will see the option called the Power BI Dataset. So this is sitting under Data Hub items. So otherwise you can search under Get Data. You can see Power BI Datasets. You can still go to More option. So under Power Platform you will see Power BI Dataset. So you can choose either from here or under Data Hub or under Get Data Power BI Dataset. Click Connect. So this will list out all the datasets across different workspaces wherever you have access. Right, so this is the workspace that we deployed our dataset called ds_sales. So I'm going to choose this and click Connect. Okay, now we have connected to the dataset. Let me close this. You can see these are the list of tables that we have added on the dataset. Now you can start create a report here. Okay, I have quickly created a report, something similar to what we have in the previous workspace. So now I'm okay with this report. I'm going to save this report. Okay, now I'm going to publish this report into the same workspace. Okay, it is published. Now you can come and check here. You can see sales analytics. So if you see here, we don't have a dataset created with this name, right? So previously, whenever we publish a report, the Power BI file, right, so it will publish two different objects. One is report file and another one is dataset file. Right? If you see here, so this is the dataset that we have deployed earlier, and this is a file that we deployed now. Right? So if you see, we don't have a dataset created with this name because we have connected this report to this dataset. So that's the reason this report is just published without publishing a dataset component again. So this is referring this. Just to check how these are connected, you can go to lineage and you will see this is the source, our SQL Server on-prem, and this is the dataset. This dataset is used as a source for this report. Now consider you need to create one more report, right? For that you can again go with a new file. Okay, once you open the new file, you need to follow the same. So you are going to choose the Power BI Dataset. I'm going to create a new report quickly. Okay, I have created this report. So this is about sales by product analytics. I'm going to publish this report. So we can publish this into a same workspace. Okay, if you see here on the lineage, the second report is again connected to the same dataset. So if I go to list view, you will see you will have only one dataset and you have multiple reports. Here 2 reports. So this is what we call this as a golden dataset or a shared dataset. So you are sharing this dataset for different reports. So this is the right approach that you need to follow on your project. Okay, let me show you what is the difference that you see on your Power BI file. Right, let me open the previous file. So this is the previous file. So in this file you will see the same set of tables, and you will have options like report, data view. So data view is something like you can choose the table and you can see the data preview here, and this is the model view, and where you will see the relationship which you created across different tables. So this is a file that we used earlier, right, before we split the report and data set. Let me show you what is the difference you can see on the new file. So this is the new file that we created using Power BI Dataset as a source. So you will see the same set of tables. So this section, all sections are remain same, but you can see here. So this time you are going to see only the report view and model view. So you will not see a data preview because you are connecting your Power BI Dataset as a live connection. Previously you were able to see the data view because the tables are created using import mode, and import mode within that file. So that's the reason you are able to see the data view. Since we have created dataset separately and we are referring that dataset through a live connection, you will be able to see only these two options. Again, just to confirm, you can see here in the bottom, connected live to the Power BI Dataset. What is the dataset that we have referred to create a report, which is ds_sales from this workspace. Right, so this will give you an idea like how you have connected your Power BI Dataset. Okay, this is how you can create a new report, a new dataset when you start a new project. Let me try to help you in case if you have reports or datasets are created already. If you want to split your report and dataset, what you need to do, let's go back to the previous workspace. So this is a workspace where you have a dataset and report. So you have two different datasets, but both are referring same set of tables for these two different reports. So if this report is created and there is no subscriptions enabled, right, so you just created and you want to modify this, what you can do, you can delete one of your dataset. So anyway you're going to publish it again, right? So when you delete your dataset, so it will again delete your report as well. So I'm just deleted the sales dashboard. You can see that the report that is referring that sales dataset is also got deleted. So you need to do this only when there is no subscriptions created, and only when this report is not used anywhere outside of this workspace, right? For example, the report ID used on the embedding scenarios. If that is the case, you should not do that. So I'll tell you how you can achieve for those scenarios, right? So consider you just created this report and now you want to split your report and dataset. right? So it's in a development, not in a production, right? So if that is the case, you can delete one of the dataset or the redundant datasets. So you go to the sales by product file, and here you can see these are the tables. So now this is available within the file, so that's the reason you are able to see the data view. You need to delete all of this table, right? So let us delete all of this table, maybe one by one. Okay, if you see here, I have deleted all the tables. The next step is you need to connect this file with Power BI Dataset. Click Power BI Dataset, and you need to choose the dataset which is sitting on corp sales. So this is the dataset that we plan to consider as a shared dataset. Choose this. Maybe you can still rename it on your Power BI service, but for now I'm just choosing this. Click connect. Okay, now you can see our visuals are back. We have loaded the data, and you can see the difference. So you will not see a data view here. In the bottom you will see connected to live to the Power BI Dataset sales by product. So this is a dataset from this workspace, and you can now publish this report to the workspace. So corp sales. Okay, so it is saying you have a report with the same name, but this time this is referring the data sets which we published. So I'm happy to delete because I have not referred this report, or I don't have any subscriptions created for this report. So I can delete that, and I can select and publish. I need to do the same thing on the next file, so which is nothing but sales dashboards. I have to delete all of these table. Okay, I have deleted all of the tables, and I'm going to choose the same data set for this report as well. So once I have selected the data set, all the report visual will start render. Now I can publish this. So we have one data set and we have two reports. Just to see from a lineage perspective, so this is a on-prem SQL Server data set and two reports. Right, so this you can perform when you are in a development workspace and your reports datasets are not being used anywhere outside of this workspace, like for example Power BI embedding or a subscription. Let's take a scenario where you have this workspace in production, and the reports are already pointing to for example embedding scenarios, or there are subscriptions created. Right, so you should not do this, because whenever you delete this report and republish, it will create a new report ID for this. Right, so when the report ID changes, it will impact the subscriptions, the embedding report, all will be impacted. For those scenarios, you need to use a rebind option. You need to rebind your report to the one shared data set. You need to disconnect your report from the dataset that you have, and you need to rebind with the dataset that you consider as a shared dataset. Okay, if you see this workspace, prod space, so here I have two reports and I have two datasets. Again, it is the same the previous scenario, but this time these reports are in a production workspace. So we don't want to delete the report and republish it again from the Power BI desktop. If you see from a lineage perspective, so report 1 is connected to report 1 dataset, report 2 is connected to report 2 dataset. Maybe we can maintain this as a one shared dataset. So I'll just rename this as a DS sales, for example. Right, so I'll just going to save this. Now this is changed as a DS sales. So this report 1 is already pointed to this DS sales, so this is fine. And this report 2 is, as of now, it is connected to report 2 dataset. So we need to disconnect from this report from this dataset, and we need to rebind them into the same dataset, so that we will maintain the same report. Any downstream application referring these report IDs will still remain same. To achieve that, you need to make use of Power BI REST API, and you can search for rebind, or you can go to dataset. Okay, you can see rebind report in group. So this is what we need. Click this, and this is a post method. We need to pass the group ID, report ID, and rebind. And for post, we have to give a body, which is nothing but dataset ID. Right, so you can use this write option. So if you are not sure how to use this write option, or check my previous videos, I have explained how this write will be helpful in case if you want to perform any REST APIs directly on the portal. So click try it, you just sign in with your credentials, click continue. So this is the place where you have to enter all your information. So what is the group ID, which is nothing but a workspace ID. So this is our group ID or workspace ID. Just copy this. And then report ID. So our report ID is this. So go open this report and you will get a report ID. Copy this, paste it here, and then content type is fine, and dataset ID. So this is a place where we have to specify what is our shared dataset. So we are going to consider this as a shared dataset, right? So this is the dataset ID that we need to provide. So to get that, we can open the dataset and you will get a dataset ID. And go here and paste it. Now you can click run. You can see response code is 200, so which means this is success. You can come here and refresh this. You will see now report 2 is connected to this DSLs, the shared dataset. Now you can delete this and make sure there is again no downstream applications referring this dataset. If it is any downstream application referring this dataset, make sure to update the dataset ID with this dataset ID. So once that is done, you can delete this dataset. So the another benefit of having one shared dataset for multiple reports, you can go to file, download this file. They will see this option, a copy of your report with the live connection to the dataset online, right? So they will not be able to download this file with the data. And in case if you want to update anything on your dataset file, you can download this dataset file separately. But the other the limitations, like in case if you have incremental refresh enabled, right, so you will not be able to download this file. So if you have a file created with just the basic settings, then you will have option to download this file, do the changes, and you can upload it back or replace it again to the workspace. I hope this video helps you to understand what is the benefit of splitting your report and dataset separately.